Hello, warriors. It is time. It is time. Part 15 of Ghost of Tsushima with the therapist. The assault on Castle Kaneda. I'm so glad that you made it this far. Thanks so much for all of your support of this playthrough. Leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, all that fun stuff. Hang out with us live sometime. Let's storm the castle. After I take a sip of my tea. Prince Zuko. Alright.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Should have had Yuna welcome you all back.
You're still here?
Disappointed?
I thought you'd leave as soon as I had my grappling hook. Try to find a way to the mainland.
As tempting as that sounds, you saved Taka's life. My debt's not paid until your uncle's free.
I'm glad to hear it. Send word to the others.
What should I tell them?
We're going to break into Castle Kaneda and free Lord Shimura.
Oh, baby. The next day, Castle Kaneda.
I'm told your nephew stalks my men. Tears them apart, like a beast.
I'm certain you've done worse.
Oh, you pretend we're different. But we fight for the same thing. To create a legacy that outlives us.
I won my legacy with duty and honor. Brought order to my home. And justice for my people. You are nothing like me.
Neither is your nephew. But his name is bound to your legacy.
Ooh.
Legacy is more than a name.
Ah, true. Your family has lived here for generations. Your ancestral castle lies to the north, yes? I look forward to visiting it. While I leave you here to starve to death, alone, without honor.
Dude, I just want to watch the two of them talk. Like, why even play the game? I just want to watch them talk. It's great. Shimura said something there that was a bit interesting to me. And I think of the way to formulate my thoughts on this, because there's a lot of depth to it, and I don't want to waste too much time belaboring the point, but when Shimura says, I brought order to my people honorably, and Khan says, you know, we're not too different to you and I, Khan's actually right. The thing that has somewhat, I don't want to say rubbed me the wrong way, but a thing that we absolutely have to acknowledge in the way that we talk about the dynamics at large here on the island is what an immense position of power to be the person who claims that the order that you brought to your people was honorable. Like, there is an oppressive force to order. Humans are typically pretty entropic in the sense that, like, chaos reigns. And there's a randomization of a lot of stuff, and people will do their things. I mean, the whole reason we have laws, countries, states, territories, lines of demarcation, family names, I mean, you could go on and on and on about this shit, is to try to bring order to the entropy of humanity in the universe. And how arrogant are humans to believe that we can bring order to the universe when we are so minusculely irrelevant? But that's for another day. But to be a person who's in the position to put people in order means that you inherently have to oppress entropy. Like you are dictating terms, you are creating hierarchy, you are determining what the limits and boundaries of society at large are, and then you have the power to employ people who enforce that on your behalf. The samurai. And there is no way, as evidenced by bandits, at the very least, that everybody's on board with that. People get disenfranchised with systems all the time. Just because you, in your comfy position of power, have said, oh, this order is so nice as you drink your tea and look out your ocean view, doesn't mean that people down in the trenches on the assembly lines and living day-to-day blue-collar folks are sitting here going, boy, I love this order. Sure, I love paying fines that put me in massive debt when the police and the samurai come by and tell me that my housing roof is out of code or whatever the hell else kind of things would be going on for people. Like, that order is inherent. I'm not saying order is a bad thing, but I'm saying that you have to acknowledge that installation of order is not going to play nice with all of your constituents. So when the Mongols are showing up on the island and are instilling their version of order, everybody, we look at it and go like, oh, that's so terrible because they're so violent, and that's true. But I could almost guarantee you there was likely violence with the way in which Shimura and everybody else created order on the island. So the only real distinction here is subjectivity. Because Shimura has his lived experience, which he can more readily empathize with than Khan's lived experience, they sit and have a bit of a pissing match of who's right and who's wrong, when in reality, they're facilitating the same process. I'm not saying that one is necessarily better than the other. Obviously, we don't want to see violence and rape and pillaging and all this stuff as a means to create that order. But who are you to decide that you're the one that gets to instill order on the masses? Hence why you have things like democracy and stuff that show up where people think, want to have a representative democracy and blah, blah, blah. Like, this is not here to talk about all the different political orientations to the world, but I just find it really interesting the way that he said that. A few hours later.
Damn it, Ryuzo. Where are you?
Everyone's here. Should we wait for the Straw Hats?
No.
Ooh.
I'll meet you at the farmhouse.
Wonder what happened with Ryuzo. Shadow of the Samurai. Oh, baby. Before we do that, I probably should upgrade myself since I have 8 experience points to use. Speak with your allies, hell yeah.
Jin.
Thank you for coming. Lord Shimura will be grateful.
My family's killer can wait a few hours longer.
As can my hunt for Tomoe. Our island needs its leader restored.
With your support, he'll be free by sunrise. Prepare yourselves. We'll attack soon.
Give the word. We'll be there.
Your own student, fighting for the enemy. Serves you right.
Don't start.
An old man taking up with a young woman. That only leads to trouble.
I treated her like a daughter.
For some women, one father is more than enough.
Woo! Women are awesome, man.
Everyone, it's time. Today we free Lord Shimura.
I was told we'd have Straw Hat reinforcements.
They're not here. And we can't wait any longer.
What's the plan, Lord Sakai?
I'll use my grappling hook to infiltrate the castle. Once I silence the alarm, the rest of you can safely breach the front gate. The Mongols are likely holding Lord Shimura in the main keep. If they sound the alarm, they may execute him.
We can storm the front gates, take them by surprise.
No, we do this quietly. We'll carve a path to the main keep, rescue Lord Shimura, then fall back to the main gate and make our escape.
Sounds like suicide.
Only if we attack head-on. We can do this if we sneak in and catch the enemy while they're sleeping.
Like a thief.
Yeah, dude, I saw that coming a mile away. Of course he's not going to want to do that. Oh, God. Jin. Oh, I say this with, like, love and respect. The lack of maturity in Jin just shows through in these moments. Like, you might have done a bit of a 180 on the whole thief thing when Yuna gave you some level of example for like why it would be a good idea, but you have to know that when you're gonna bring samurai or samurai adjacent people in here, they're not gonna be up for it because they believe in honor, they believe in the code more than personal conviction. So of course he's going to have hesitation, and he's got to be ready for this. Like, I really sure as shit hope that his response to Ishikawa is good, because he had damn well better known that people were going to have a hard time with this. Like, yes, Shimura is important. Yes. But at some point, Jin's investment in his uncle is in part because of his emotional investment in his uncle. And yes, it maybe has a good strategic utility, but we can't know that it's going to just magically unite the island. I mean, Jin seems to believe that all he has to do is get his uncle out of that cage, and his uncle's going to go, "People of Tsushima, I am back. Let's stop the Mongols," as if the people don't want to do that already anyway. Like, I do believe that Jin is overestimating the influence that having his uncle around is going to have, particularly since there are people on the island who are disenfranchised by the system in general. So yeah, like, when you have, Jin is asking them to do something that is so monumentally difficult. Now, they, for their own personal reasons, believe that they owe it to Jin to assist him with that and see it potentially as the honorable thing to do, or the thing they're obligated to do based on reciprocity of what Jin afforded to them. And that's all well and good. Their reasons for being here, I'm not really concerned about. But Jin, as the leader of this, one, you cannot be blindly optimistic about all of this. You have to acknowledge the risk. You have to acknowledge the limitations that you don't actually know what's going to happen when Shimura gets out, if you get him out. And you have to know there's going to be resistance to the methods that you offer. And you better be ready to empathize. You better be ready to listen, share your own experience, all this stuff. If Jin doesn't do this, holy hell, is this going to be hard. Because a person like Ishikawa, who's been in the game for a really long time, being asked to just go completely back on the code that he has been abiding by for his entire life, and Shimura is a representation of the importance of that, we're seeing it in the conversation with the Khan. Shimura doesn't want to believe that the samurai are willing to forego their obligations and duty as samurai to engage in thievery type ways of taking out the Mongols. Like, Shimura, in his cell, still seems to believe that if we're gonna fight the Mongols, we have to do it honorably. And I wonder what kind of dissonance Shimura is going to experience if, when he is released, he hears that the way that we got to him was by slaying every single Mongol without them looking them in the eye first. Have you turned to dogs? What have the Mongols done to us? What are we doing? We've lost our way. Does that mean that he imposes more? I mean, there are so many things that can happen here because of the fact that honor and a code sits as a meta on all of this rather than the needs of the moment. Which brings me back to a conversation that we had several episodes ago when I talked about structural family therapy and the idea that, like, structure is useful insofar as it's flexible enough to allow you to be present and deal with the demands of the moment. If this code becomes something super rigid here, this could be a really awful moment. where it is not going to play out the way that Jin believes it will. And I have to believe with how early on in the game we are, it's not going to work out the way that he wants it to. It just is overly idealistic in my mind. He's got to be more real with this stuff.
Oh, Ghost.
Lord Shimura is counting on us. Let's head out.
Yuna with the PR save again. Dude, Jin, come on, man. Please stay on the island, Yuna. I need you because I absolutely suck at PR.
Good speech. You sure this will work?
It has to.
Okay, it has to. Well, can't be sure that it'll work, but I guess we'll all die trying. We won't know what it turns out to if it doesn't work. I shall climb the side of the mountain, friends.
Looks like you can climb up here.
Catch up to the others. I'll see you inside.
Be careful, Jin.
Thanks for the reminder. I wasn't going to be careful until you said that. I really love that people pre-tied these mountains, though, so I could grapple it. I'd love to know who the freedom fighters were that did that.
I won't fail you again, Uncle.
Hey, look, another hole in the fence. Super convenient. Find the Mongol alarm. Nuts.
Haven't been.
The local yarn bombing community. Oh, that's so nice. Yell less loudly next time, please. I wonder if I didn't need to do that. If I could just sneak around everybody. Now they're gonna find a dead guy. I wonder what's up.
Here, you!
The alarm. Better take down the guards.
Go for the throat first, Jin.
Sensei, you and Kenji secure the front gate.
Consider it done.
Yuna, can you clear the path along the cliff?
I'll handle it.
Good. We'll meet up at the bridge.
Okay. All right.
Forgetting someone?
No. You're with me.
Ooh. Nice. Take Lady Masako with us. Hell yeah. Return to the area. Ah. Want to explore. Alright, fine. It's not a time for supplies, Jin.
There's a siege weapon up ahead. Last time they turned it on Yuna and me.
This time, we'll take it.
Hell yeah, we will.
We need to clear the courtyard. Quietly, or head on.
Your move.
Oh, head on. Apply directly to the forehead. Let's go. Oh shit. Okay, just rolled right into it. That was oh god. Blinded his own guy. Dude, if I was these guys, I'd be like, bro, stop throwing that shit around here.
You are no threat to me!
Ooh, I'm like covered in mud and blood and shit. That's awesome.
Can you operate the Hwacha?
I'll figure it out.
When I free Lord Shimura, we'll be chased by Mongols. Take them down.
With pleasure. Be safe, Jin.
And you,
Oh.
Masako.
Oh yeah. Oh baby. This is gonna be intense. And I'm here for it.
Jin, the gate's guarded.
Follow my lead.
Defeat the Mongols guarding the bridge. With pleasure. What up? Bitch. What? What the hell?
This would be easier if your straw hat friends were helping.
Ryuzo's men were starving. They may have turned against him.
War turns desperate men into animals.
I'm gonna try to be empathic toward him. Rather than entitled to his presence. I mean, I'm amazed anybody showed up for this. Because Ishikawa's right. It's a suicide mission. So you know, Jin's not entitled to anybody's assistance.
This is as far as I got last time.
The Khan threw you off this bridge? How'd you survive?
I don't know.
Gates
Plot
locked.
armor.
Hold the bridge. I'll find another way over.
Check the cliff. There must be a way around.
Interesting. Okay, so I probably need to go down.
This should work.
Good eye. Once you're in, open the gate for me.
Listen.
Man, it's so convenient that there's broken fences right at these
I
spots.
could use Yuna's help.
What's up?
Quiet. More guards ahead.
Here we go. What's up? What up, idiot? Brutal. That was clean. Oh, baby. Boy, I'm so excited to see what happens when we get up here. This is gonna be nuts. Hey, what's up, guys? Oh, yeah, your car's extended warranty is about to expire. And in the contract, it said it only expires when you die. Oh, yeah.
Yuna, hold this area. I'll find Lord Shimura.
Good luck, Jin.
Another gate. Better find a way around.
Oh, thank God there's another broken piece of fence next to the gate.
Ryuzo.
Oh, no.
The Khan put a bounty on the ghost.
Oh, no.
Anyone can claim it.
You wouldn't.
Yeah, you would.
My men are starving, Jin.
Yep.
Help me save my uncle, and he will reward your men. He will make you samurai.
Oh, do you trust your ability,
Send us to
Ryuzo?
die, just like he did at Komoda Beach.
Ryuzo,
He's your family, Jin. I need to protect mine.
Oh, dude. I get it. Oh, this is so good. But I get it. And before we do this fight, this is exactly what I was talking about back when we met him and we saw his men. You cannot underestimate the disenfranchisement of the masses. You can't. It's a huge misstep by Jin. If Lord... These people exist because they believe that the system failed them. And when he says, yeah, okay, cool, so I become a samurai, and then, you know, he just directs me down to the beach and says, yeah, go ahead, go down there and just get destroyed by the Mongols. What, I'm going to be under the thumb? Ryuzo is the leader of his clan. He has people that look up to him, people he cares for. He has purpose. Purpose, by the way, that he earned. Not something that was granted to him by a person who could decide at any time. It's like, why would he if he could decide that I am a samurai at any point in time, why is it only when I saved him, not when I showed whatever prowess I had at the time that I dueled you or whatever else, right? Like, there's a million other ways in which Ryuzo could have felt taken care of by Shimura. And this is what Jin's biggest failure is. He believes that his uncle means as much to everybody on the island as he means to him. And that is too inductive. It is too far away from reality. Your uncle means a lot to you. That's great. You want to free him? All about it. The Khan put a big-ass price on your head. And by the way, the Khan appears to be winning the war right now. So if I can get money for my guys, get them fed, and join the force that seems to be taking over the island, yeah, man, I'm going to do it. Jin's belief that he is owed people's allegiance and obligation is going to bite him in the ass, and it is right now. Now we get to fight Ryuzo, because Ryuzo would rather die fighting for his men than have something handed to him. That's going to lead potentially to his own death, and would pull him away from his guys. Because here's the other thing. Ryuzo becomes a samurai, then what? The Straw Hats look at him and go, oh, that's so cool. Look at Ryuzo. He's a samurai now. That's so badass. He's a cop now. No. No. He goes back to the Straw Hats and says, hey, guys, I'm a samurai now. They're going to be like, bro, are you kidding me? What? And he goes, well, I got food. Maybe. They come around a little bit. But, this is why microdynamics, regions of a society are so important to understand when you're in a position of leadership. You can't just look. It's like if you're the president of the United States, you can't look at everybody and go, we're all American, and think that that matters to everybody on the equal level that it matters to people who are in massive positions of power and privilege. It's just not how it works. There are so many people who would tell you, like, I'm a Midwesterner before they would tell you they're American, or they would tell you I'm a Chicagoan or whatever. Like, people identify with their subgroups, oftentimes even more so than with their national group. And Shimura's and Jin's failure to realize that, I think, is it's biting them in the ass. And so it completely makes sense to me why Ryuzo is doing this. It's desperation. I don't say, I mean, it's a losing proposition, by the way. I mean, he doesn't really get what he wants out of any of this. But if this is what Ryuzo is choosing to do, I can't fault him for it. Sucks, though. But also, look, you know, well, yeah, it's such a bitch to have to deal with this if you're Jin. This is so great. Give me the first one so that you're confident.
I'll make it quick. We were friends a lifetime ago. Stop! Before it's too late! You've changed. So have you, Ghost. Enough! It's not too late. Help me save our home. It belongs to them now. Ryuzo
He's here! The samurai is here!
Wow. Damn. Should have killed him, Jin. Oh man, you should have killed him. Oh no. Oh no. Oh shit's real now, man. The Khan's gotta know this is coming. What's up?
Here, you!
Huh? Where is he? Where is Lord Shimura?
Sugar ducks of Bagimu!
All right. Top. The hell? No.
Uncle! I'm coming! Hurry! Samurai no ho!
Uncle.
I knew you would come, my boy. Your father would be proud.
I live to serve you, my lord. We have to leave.
Not yet.
Put that armor on, dog.
Khan is marching north to conquer Toyotama. He left some guards here. But they're
He also left Lord Shimura out in the open, so he totally knew this was going to happen, and it's obviously some sort of tactical diversion. He's not in the jail cell I was expecting him to be in. Khan's not sitting here like, ooh, wow. I've been waiting for you, Star Fox. Like, he's not, that's not what's happening here. Also notice how, you know, he didn't kill Shimura. He totally could have done that. He told his guards not to kill Shimura. Also, the Khan basically let his guards, like, literally sit to their death, knowing that Jin is going to show up. So he literally just sacrificed a shit ton of his men. I mean, all of this just screams tactical on the Khan's part. Because this has all been maybe a little too easy. Also, as far as Ryuzo, I mean, the Khan's really smart to get Jin to be, like, psychologically thrown by the fact that Ryuzo would fight Jin. I don't know that he knows the history of the two of them. It'd be kind of amazing if he did. But I putting that bounty out would make total sense. Bounty plus show of force, take care of your people. Yeah.
Be no match for two samurai.
I brought allies. We can retake the castle.
They will sing songs of our victory.
Okay, sure, cool. Except this is, oh God, this isn't. Fellas, your confidence not very inspiring right now.
See the invaders from the northern courtyard. Lord Sakai will pull them to us.
I'm with you, my lord.
He literally just shot his own guy. That's amazing. Wow.
Sensei, Lady Masako, you've survived.
With your nephew's help.
He insisted we could save you. I thought it impossible, but I'm glad he proved me wrong.
It won't be the last time, Sensei.
I'm glad you're all here. We've lost too many friends.
And family.
Lord Adachi died with honor, Lady Masako. Now we avenge him, and all the fallen warriors of Tsushima.
There's more coming.
We will face them together. For the fallen warriors of Tsushima! Fire on them! Sensei is from us! We will cover you! Well fought. All of
We
you.
did it.
The castle is ours.
You've led us to victory, my lord.
With your help, Jin. Together, we will break the Mongol spirit and bring Khopun Khan to his knees. We will win this war as samurai.
It just doesn't, I don't know, doesn't sit right. Just doesn't. The Avenging Guardian. And Ryuzo got away. Two days later, far to the north, Castle Shimura. Ah, what's up, dog?
You have an impressive home. Won't you welcome me inside? Your people are tired, hungry, cold. Open the gate and save them!
Oh man, this is. I'm just gonna say it every time. You're just gonna have to deal with it. It's brilliant. This is brilliant because tactically it doesn't make a lot of sense to open the doors. But from a representation standpoint, you are forced to qualify who you're willing to save and who you're not. If that's your family and they're strapped to those boards and the Khan brings them up to the doors of the people who can save them and they don't open their doors and let the Khan torture and murder them, how are you feeling about the Lord Shimura? House Shimura? You feeling good about that? You like that your peasant ass wasn't important enough for them to do anything? Oh, it was a tactical advantage. Otherwise, they would have invaded their beautiful home. Cool. Their material goods, their home, their own personal needs outweighed the need of your family who were sitting there on those boards struggling in the cold while the Khan rolled them up. I'm not saying, I mean, obviously the blame on this is on the Khan. It's not on the Shimura family, but he's putting them in a massive bind from like a representative standpoint. Do these people actually care about you? The Khan's whole thing on this is you should probably submit because your people that you think are protecting you don't actually care about you. And here I am to show you proof. This dude's good, man. I am.
You promised food for my men.
Earn it.
Oof.
Let them in!
Oof. Now you get to kill the very people you swore to protect because you care about your straw men more than the laymen. He's in the same bind.
Open the gate! Open the gate!
Wow. This man is now cost sunk. Jinx spin. Oh man.
Open the gate! Open the gate!
Wow.
Your uncle's looking for you. I heard the Khan took his castle.
I never should have trusted Ryuzo.
He...
Jin. That's not what this is about. See, this is unfortunately the angle that a lot of people will go with this, is they will take the hindsight and they'll say, I never should have trusted that person. That's not the way you want to look at this, Jin. The way that you want to look at this is, you should have taken the time to understand him. It's not about trust. You should have taken the time to ask questions, to understand his group's disenfranchisement, to get to know how important his people are to him, to understand the lengths that he would go to protect them, to understand how malleable he is to influence from people who are in position to give him resources to make sure that his people are taken care of. You should have taken time to learn about how he's doing instead of joking and posturing and doing all the bullshit you did while you guys were gallivanting around the area prior to this attack on the castle. That's what you should have done. That's the lesson here. The lesson is, don't trust people anymore. The lesson is understand people better. Take the time to know what you are working with. The Khan certainly has, and that's what makes him so damn powerful, in addition to having gunpowder and all of that stuff. You'd immediately defaulted to when you guys were like 14 years old and you're hitting each other with sticks. You didn't think about the man that he's become in all the years. Ryuzo had to watch you because you're in a position of like nobility. He had to see it. You got it represented to him. You didn't take the time, and you paid the price because you didn't understand that a person who you thought was your friend, who you thought was obligated to you, who you thought shared the same level of investment in the system at large that you have, you didn't realize that that was gone. That hunger of the people he cares about was more important to him than the system at large, as it is for most. Most people are willing to watch the system at large burn to the ground if it means that their needs get met. It's just what it is to be a surviving organism. And his failure to see that and to invest in that is what got him there, not the trust.
Fooled all of us.
I thought you'd be gone by now.
So did I.
Let's talk to my uncle. See about getting your reward.
Lord Shimura is in the main keep.
Look at that. Oh. Hey guys, so I was thinking we should make a game and take every possible piece of the beauty that is Japanese culture and let's just like condense it into a meteorite or black hole of dense matter and just put it on a hard drive at 60 gigabytes and let people experience it. Like, Jesus. God damn.
Do you still want to leave Tsushima?
There's nothing left for me here.
I could use your help in the fight ahead.
You have your uncle, Jin. You don't need me.
I need every ally I can trust.
He believes, I know I keep saying this, but his belief that everybody cares about this place at the level that he does is so inductive. It's so developmentally delayed. It is a system that has handed him so many rights, privileges, wonderful things. It is a system that has not done that for everyone. And those people are seeing the Mongols invade the island. They're like, yeah, I'm out. This place kind of sucks anyway. Like, oh no, the Canadians are invading Indiana. Well, yeah, Indiana hasn't done much for me, so I'll go to Ohio. Like, that's what he's dealing with here. And he's like, oh, dude, but like, Indiana's great. It's given me everything I've ever wanted to know. You kidding me? Who would want to leave Indiana? Fight for Indiana. He's like, no. I live in North Judson. You haven't thought about me in years. How old do you think Jin is? I don't know. I'm guessing like maybe mid to late 20s. That doesn't matter to me too much, but... Shout out to anybody in North Judson, Indiana who just watched this playthrough and heard me say that. If you exist, let me know in the comments.
Good luck with your uncle.
Would you argue that Jin was groomed by the Samurai Code? I think that's a misplace of a pretty heavy word there. He was conditioned by it, and it certainly was overly represented in his development. I would not go so far as to say groomed.
Jin, you look well.
Do I?
We will defeat the Khan and the coward Ryuzo. Mount their heads on the battlements of my castle.
Oh, this is so painful. I was actually not expecting this to be this painful. I really wasn't. That coward Ryuzo? Are you... Oh. I don't know about you, but I'm not loving Shimura. I'm not loving that this guy looks at somebody, takes absolutely no account of their context or their motives, and calls them a coward because he advocated for himself and his people. Again, Ryuzo is making some bad decisions here. Don't get me wrong. Ryuzo burned a dude at the stake. Like, I'm not just going like, well, no, it's okay. That guy deserved to die because Ryuzo has his reasons. Like, that's not where we're at here. But that attitude toward Ryuzo, that's one of your people. If you're going to advocate for the island, if you're going to lead the island, you have to advocate and lead all of your people. You have to care about the well-being of everyone on the island. That's your duty as a leader, not the people who kiss your ass and lick your balls and all these other things that you like, give you delicious drinks and stuff like that. That's not the only people that you should care about. You signed up for this shit. And if you didn't want it, put other people in a position that are actually willing to lead for the good of the island. But if you're going to call Ryuzo a coward, you're missing the plot, my guy. And I'm starting to understand why people aren't particularly thrilled with the leadership.
But I can't do this without you.
You have me.
I heard of your exploits while I was in prison. Your methods were brutal. Impulsive. Without honor.
This guy.
I did what I had to. For you.
I know, Jin. And I will be forever in your debt. But you can't continue down this path. All of Tsushima looks to us for guidance. We must save our home together.
No! God! Oh! And you know what's crazy is I knew he was gonna say that. I knew there was no way he was gonna let that go. There's no way he's gonna let it go. Oh my God. I mean, he does acknowledge Jin. He does acknowledge it. Says thank you. I'm in your debt. But I think we really have to understand why what his code here is like objectively kind of dumb to fall back on here. Because what he's not saying, here's what he's not saying. He's not saying, dude, you killed a lot of people to get to me. Some of our own and some of the Mongols, and my God, you murdered countless people in your navigation of freeing me. You broke the law, a law that is designed to protect all of our people. You broke the law about 1,000 different ways, and yeah, I'm free, but holy shit, dude. Like, you went on the dark web and solicited an assassin and sold 4 people into human trafficking so that you could find me. No, that's not what he's saying. Then I would understand his beef. No, what he's saying is, you killed people the wrong way. That's what he's saying. You didn't look everyone in the eye before you killed them on the way here. I don't care that you killed them. You killed them like a thief. You killed them like a person that we don't respect because of the label that we've slapped on them. That's why what he's saying right now is absurd. That's why I laugh. I'm all well and good for holding people accountable to do things the right way in their efforts to try to liberate people and, you know, help folks out. And I do recognize that there are times where you have to bend a little bit some of the rigid structures that exist that blockade you from doing that. But really, that's where we're gonna go? Dude, you shot him with a .22 rifle instead of a bow and arrow. And that's bad. Our sacred code dictates that we have to impose our belief of what is honorable on you before you die. The equivalent would be like if somebody was like, I don't know, in modern times, if somebody was like walked up to you and they point a gun at you and they shoot you in the face and kill you. And then they go back to their like church and their church is like, bro, you didn't read the rosary first to him before you shot him? You could have at least read the rosary to him. That would have really, if you'd have gone bead by bead before you shot him in the face, that would have been the honorable thing to do. That's what they're saying. That's the analog here. And so if you're like, well, that's really shitty. Yeah, this is shitty. Like, this is shitty. We kill with reckless abandon and we're like, yeah, no, it's cool. It's just, we got to do it honorably. And my dumbass has fallen into that trap because every time I walk into a camp, I don't stealth kill. I look them in the eye and kill them because for some stupid ass reason, I've bought into the idea that that's more honorable for them. Partly it's more fun from a gameplay standpoint, but like, Jesus. Like, that's what's happening here. It's why I just get so like, I guess the mental health tidbit point of this, of why I'm even bringing all of this up rather than just reacting to it, is because like this is how strongly people adhere to these very abstract ideas of what's right and wrong. If I kill in the name of Jesus Christ, it's fine. If you kill in the name of Allah, you're a dick. If you kill because blah, 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 you're an asshole. But, you know, you do it in the way that I've conceptualized as fine, abstractly, based on all sorts of, like, incomplete data. I can live with it. And people do this all the time. If you want to take it into something more benign, people do this with things that are more benign as well. We put our own personal qualifications on things. There is no objective reality. There is no objectively good law. We just kind of like collectively decide or are forced into abiding by what we somehow conceptually believe is good. In the same way, like morality is socially constructed. There's no objective morality. It's all just humans putting their brains together trying to figure out what's good or what's not. Oh, pain and torture and death's not cool? Yeah, we should probably like tell people not to do that. But we wouldn't have to have things like prison and other deterrents if everybody collectively believed that death and killing was not the option. Like a lot of the, you don't talk about binding entropy. Like it's all socially constructed. I'm not here to pontificate about like what, social doctrines are good, bad, or whatever. But what we're seeing here is a glimpse into what has been constructed. And the Shimura, like Lord Shimura, is in a position of power. So what he says here, how he conceptualizes the masses, what he focuses his energy on matters a great deal. And so Jin saving him from that cell and killing with reckless abandon and all the things we did leading up to that, and him going, it was pretty dishonorable that you didn't look him in the eye before you killed him. Holy shit, does that tell us where his priorities are. And if you're Jin, That's going to scramble the shit out of you. That's your parent telling you something that's super dissonant to an experience you had, and because you care so much about them, you get all scrambled about it instead of sticking to your guns. This is how people get messed up on their decision making later on in life. When your parents just constantly question you, or they jam their own codes on you because they think that's the right thing to do and that's the right way and that's how we did it when I was growing up, and you're like, yeah, but that doesn't work now. And they're like, well, I don't care, that's dishonorable. And then you're like, oh God, is what my parent says more important than what my actual lived experience was? Holy shit. I'm a dude and I kissed a dude and it was actually really cool, but my God, everybody's telling me, my parents and everybody's telling me that that's dishonorable and awful. I'm going to burn in hell. Who's right? This is the kind of shit people go through. So in some ways, I feel terribly for Jin because of the way that he's immersed in this and hasn't had a broad spectrum of representation to help counter some of this stuff. He's starting to get it, though, in meeting with people like Yuna and Lady Masako and Ishikawa and Tomoe in some ways. Like some of these people, even Ryuzo, even that is an important lesson for Jin to learn about the human condition. I just talked for a very long time, but I hope what I said made sense in some ways.
A samurai.
What about Yuna? She saved my life and helped free you. All she wants in return is safe passage to the mainland.
I will grant it when the seas are clear. But only if she helps me retake my castle.
Douche.
Thank you, Uncle.
Come on, man.
We ride within the hour.
Yes, Lord Shimura.
I don't respect that. I just don't. Thanks for saving my life. I need you to do one more thing. He's doing the same thing that the Khan did. You bet your ass he is. He most certainly is. And the parallel play here is great because we get more representation and exposure to the folks of Tsushima than we do the Mongols. So we other the Mongols more readily, but yep. Do this one more thing for me and you've earned it. Oh, the only thing you want, Ryuzo, is food? Burn this guy at the stake and get him open the gates. And then you get your food. Oh, you want to get off the island because it's dangerous and you have no real personal connection to it and you got your brother back? Yeah, help me storm the castle. Go on one more suicide mission. But we have emotional investment in Lord Shimura, so it's more okay. And this is exactly why Jin shouldn't make promises on his uncle's behalf. You are damn right. Chat's on fire right now. Yes, you are absolutely correct. When you promise that your uncle will do X thing because your uncle has power and you're the connection to it, and then you get sucked in and your cost sunk and whatever. Yeah, so now what happens? Shimura goes out there and he says, hey, Yuna, I need you to help me take my castle back. She goes, no, I ain't doing that. Get me off the island. I already saved your ass. You want to go kill yourself by storming your castle after I saved you, that's up to you. But send me off. I did my part. He goes, nope. That's so shitty. And Jin doesn't push back. Partly out of some familial piety? I'm pretty sure that's the right word. Like this idea that like he's got to respect his elder and he bows at his feet. Anything for you, Lord Shimura. Like all this stuff. Yeah, that's not good. Unconditional positive regard, unconditional loyalty, unconditional anything is terrible. Even Jin should have some conditions for his uncle here. Like, he should look at his uncle and go, bro, she just helped me get you out of that cell. Do not put her in that position. Something I've learned while I've been going about the island while you were locked in your cell is that people don't really like us as much as I thought they do. Ryuzo turned on us almost immediately because his people aren't fed. So now you have people who literally put their life on the line, who weren't a coward as you conceptualize it, and you're going to ask more of them before you grant them what your power allows you to grant them? You're doing it wrong, dude. You're going to cause a lot of problems. We're going to have nobody left at the castle. It's going to be just me and you fighting the Khan on another bridge at the end of this thing if we don't actually take the time to figure these people out. That's such a douchey thing for him to do. Now, in the spirit of what we do around here, I'm going to dig really deep here and find it in me to empathize with Lord Shimura. Because I'm sitting here bashing the hell out of him, and rightly so. But why would somebody like Lord Shimura do that? Why would that be his go-to? This is the power of being in a position where you perceive people as subservient to you, and people do act in your best interest out of a sense of duty and that you are more important than they are. This is what happens if you've been thrust into a position of power and you believe that that is a position of reciprocity, where if I grant you the powers and privileges that I'm able to provide, you had better return the favor to me, your king, so to speak. If that's all you ever see, if that's what you're in for years and years and years, and nobody pushes back on you, that's how you turn out. He says that, and I guarantee you he doesn't say that with any kind of dissonance. He doesn't say, she can help me storm the castle and I'll let her go. He probably legitimately believes he's doing her a favor. That's me doing you a total solid, because nobody else really has that ability right now. You're telling me, like, if the boat's clear, I'll give you permission to leave the island, to leave this place that I think is so sacred and that you should love as much as I do. You know, I'm not asking much. You're asking something big of me, because I, as the leader, have to think about society at large instead of the individuals within it. That's not actually true, but that very much could be where he's coming from here. That the samurai code is the end-all be-all. I am blinded by my intentions. Those are more important than the impact I have. And yes, while I appreciate that Yuna helped you get me out, she was doing her duty as a person who lives on the island of Tsushima. And she showed up for Lord Sakai. And by extension for me. Of course she did that. Why wouldn't she do that? I'm important. When power goes unchecked, it turns into this kind of shit. You are correct, Christian.
I should check on the others.
Oh, what a... God, man. Just so much happened in this episode. This was so worth the wait. At least I hope it was for you. It was for me. Birdie. Birdie. Yeah, thank God I didn't play this at the end of the last episode, because there's too much going on here. This is why I need my full brain power. I know y'all hate cliffhangers, but this is why your boy's got to be fresh for the big ones.
Lord Sakai!
Let us perfect your steel.
Yeah, not really interested
Apologies.
in the Tontos.
You don't have what we need to do the work.
Jin.
Hold on. I got a shot.
Some of these may be new to you.
Ooh, some new armor dies? Warrior's Darkness. I gotta say, that's actually pretty cool. I ain't wearing Ronin attire. You kidding me? No way. Not after what Ryuzo did. I do have a lot of flowers. Well, I actually don't have as many flowers as I thought. Farmer's straw hat. Serpent strike headband. Sword kits. Snow demon's eyes. Damn. You
have my thanks.
I will say, it's Time for me to change my outfit. Betrayer's hat. There you go. Just wear Ryuzo's hat. There you go.
Thank you for Here's all I have. Until we next meet, my lord.
Lord Sakai! Jin,
How are the defenses coming?
Slow. But they'll pick up once we get the forge going.
Good work, both of you.
Anything to help, Lord Sakai.
Nice. You guys rock. Keep it up.
Lady Masako, any news on your family's killers?
my hunt continues. I've tracked several of the names to Toyotama.
You won't have to find them alone. But when the time comes to retake Lord Shimura's castle, can I count on your sword?
I'll be there, and we will destroy our enemies together.
Okay. Yeah, she's all in.
Taka
You know.
thinks he can make a blacksmith out of me.
Sakai, you fought well yesterday.
Your bow made that easier, Sensei. Any news on your fallen student?
I heard rumors of a Japanese archer helping the Mongols in Nakashima.
It has to be Tomoe.
I'm heading to a camp for survivors near the coast. I may know more.
I will find you there, Sensei. You have my word.
So my hope, you know, you got all these people out here, right? I really hope that these people have as decent of accommodations as they can have here.
Find me
Is
in
it-
Nakashima, Sakai.
Feels very weird to me. You have all these people out here. These are the dead, but there's like people out here sitting on rocks, have these like tents and shit. And then you have this big ass castle with all these comfy accommodations and pillows and blah blah blah. Like, I really hope these people are invited inside and given some form of comfort. I realize they probably aren't, but it's a shame. At least make an effort. You know, people see effort. Even if you necessarily can't come through all the way, people see effort and appreciate effort.
What did your uncle say?
That, well, I wish he'd say it to your face so I don't have to say it on his behalf.
Lord Shimura will grant you passage to the mainland, after you help us retake his castle.
This isn't my fight, Jin.
This is everyone's fight. Prove your worth to Lord Shimura, and he will reward you. I promise.
Lord Sakai.
No, Jin, your uncle is, Loyalty's a bitch, man. Loyalty is quite literally throwing shade over Jin's ability to see reason. Her brother made the grappling hook that made it possible for you to scale the walls. She showed up at the front freaking door with you and fought her way into the castle. She gets pushback from the powers that be, and Jin just rolls over and advocates for his uncle. And then goes, I promise he'll make good on it. What if he dies? What if we go take the castle and then he dies? And then whoever's next is like, well, I don't know. That wasn't, you made that promise on behalf of your uncle. I mean, there's too many what ifs here. Yuna and all the people in the camp witnessing this conversation, I believe, need to see Jin push upward. It's harder to push upward. Push upward. Go back to your uncle. Be like, yo, I talked to Yuna, and I realized while I was walking up to her, it didn't even take the conversation for me to realize that what you're asking of her is too much. For me, uncle. For me, the person who organized the entire strategy that got you out of that cell. Send her off, man. People need to see that you are not going to just milk them for everything they have.
Time.
Typical samurai.
Yeah.
Squeezing people for everything they're worth.
Yeah. But this is where it's really shitty for Yuna, because Yuna can refuse. She could say, I'm not going to help. No way, man. Did enough. I'm not going to capitulate to your bullshit code. She could say that. But then she doesn't get off the island. Like Now, if everybody here stopped operations and said, hey, Lord Shimura, we ain't doing shit until you send Yuna away. Power to the people, man. But you have to get people collectively en masse to push against. And the reason people don't, by the way, is because they're often afraid that their situation will get worse if they do. And many times it does. So they're like, okay, cool. So if we collectively push back against Lord Shimura here, he can make all of our lives miserable. Right now, at least I got a fence around me. And I have some good grace. I'm going to take the devil I have versus the devil I don't. It's a really tough position to be in, but it is shitty. And I can't believe that Jin wouldn't at least be willing to entertain a pushback conversation with his uncle on this. That would do wonders for his alliance with Yuna. It would absolutely do wonders. Even if he goes, all right, fine. I'll push back. I'll go talk to him. Come with me. Let's push back together. You know, Shimura doubles down, says, no, I'm not doing it unless you help me with the castle. Tough shit. Then at least it's Lord Shimura looking her in the eye instead of Jin being the lapdog. Ugh. Why would she fight for this? Because it's all of our fight. Because of the code. Because of the importance of Tsushima. No. No. You have to empathize with the personal stake people have in this shit. You have to. You have to.
We ride for Toyotama, Lord Sakai.
All he has to, oh, this makes me so mad. All he has to do is go to his uncle, say, yo, you have no idea how important she's been. Because, again, to be fair to her, his uncle may not actually understand everything that Yuna did. As far as maybe Yuna just kind of like showed up at the end and followed him in. I mean, who knows? So if Jin advocates for her, if he goes to his uncle, he goes, look, she did a whole PR spin for me that got people to believe that I'm the freaking ghost of the island, and that got people rallied. She quite literally taught me various strategies that directly contributed to your survival because I snuck up on people and was more open to the idea because of the reframe that she provided. And it made a hell of a lot of sense to me. She killed plenty of people. She saved my ass a few times in battle. She was right there at the door. She brought her brother in. She got her brother to work through a whole bunch of trauma shit so that he'd build the grappling hook that made it possible for me to scale the mountain in the first place so that the alarm didn't go off and you weren't executed. She did so many things. If you're going to tell me that one more thing is what she needs to push this over the brink, that just doesn't feel fair. Now that you have the full context, and I can't stand by and let you squeeze her of everything she's worth and put her in jeopardy again when she has already done so much. We got plenty of island here. I will find other allies. I've got Sensei Ishikawa. I've got Lady Masuko. I've got people that are on board and here to stay. She has specifically told me that she's got to her fill. She's good. She's done. She did, her saving you was more than I even could have asked of her. So you don't get to ask her for more. Get her off the island with her brother and call it a day. That's what that should sound like. And it has to come from Jin. And that would make Jin, I think, more of an inspirational possible leader for the people if people got to witness him do that. But my uncle and
the bridge is out.
My elders.
The Mongols don't know about the old forest path. This way.
Uncle, I'm sorry I didn't free you sooner.
You have nothing to apologize for, Jin.
What sort of man is the Khan?
A clever beast, but I know his kind. All ambition and no honor.
He learned our language, kept you alive. What is he after?
He wanted me to aid his conquest of our mainland. Offered me wealth, power, wives.
He thought you'd turn against your own people?
For that insult alone, I will kill him. Tell me about this woman who saved your life.
Yuna is brave, loyal, and good in a fight.
Ishikawa said she's a thief.
She can be a little rough, but she has a good heart.
Take care where you place your faith. You were friends with Ryuzo too. The battles ahead will be difficult. I need to know I can rely on my people.
You have my full support. And Yuna's.
No! Oh, Jin. Oh. Oh. I don't know about you, but I don't like the idea. Oh, here, I'm going to give you a perfect example here. I'm going to give you a personal example, just to really drive this point home. I hope you hang in here with me while I make this point. So I want you to think about what you think about me and this stream. All the maybe the playthroughs you've watched, live streams, if anything I've ever said has mattered to you, whatever. Just like take your general experience of me in this stream and like sort of sit with that for a second and ask yourself like, okay, like what has this stream meant to me? Do I appreciate DrMick's actions? Do I like what he brings to the table? Like, has he done anything for me as a person or like my understanding of the human condition or whatever, right? Just, now, if I told you, I don't know, something from my past that was like contextually makes sense at the time, even though it's unsavory, and I've learned from my actions over the last, I don't know, call it 20 years almost. Yeah, 20 years, more than 20 years. Would I like it? And would you like it? Or I guess would I like it in this case, if that became the thing that you said, people are like, wow. I'm going to use an actual legitimate example. In high school, from 2004 to about 2007, I was one of the people, like many people during that time, that used to use the word gay to mean like unsavory. You'd be like, oh, that's so gay. I don't want to do that. Ugh, I don't want to go to that party. It's gay. I was one of those people. I used to say that shit all the time. All the time. Didn't know any better. Have since learned from that. Okay? I'm not a 14-year-old anymore, and the way that we understand sexual orientation outside of a homogenous Indiana zone where that was not anything that I ever had any kind of meaningful education around, right? Like, I'm not justifying it. It's terrible. I hate that that was the case. If I could put my 34-year-old brain back in my 14-year-old body, I would never say it. But if somebody was, like, introducing me at, like, a conference or something and was like, hey, here's Dr. Mick. Here's all these things that he tries to do for mental health and destigmatize. He's helped a lot of people find a therapist and blah, 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 blah. I'm not doing this to toot my own horn, but they go, and then somebody goes, yeah, but he said that a guy playing the flute was gay in high school. You sure you trust him? That's literally what Shimura just did. He was like, I'm just going to forego my entire experience, everything I know about this person from a person who I trust, all the development that that person has had. She was a thief back in the day. You sure you can trust her? Be careful where you place your faith, Jin. Never mind the fact that she was literally at the goddamn castle when I was freed. That she is still sitting at the castle. That she's still even considering storming. Like, he is just like, nah, man, but like thief, bro. Don't be that person, man. And you know who deals with this worse than anybody else in the world? People who go to jail. People who go to prison. You go to prison, you are cooked, man. Doesn't matter. It's like you go to jail, that shit precedes you. And if you're of the mind that the reason that we send people to prison and to jail is because we want people to pay for their actions, to serve their sentence, because, you know, if you're gonna, you know, steal from a convenience store, you should sit in jail for 5 years to think about what you did, and whatever. When you serve your sentence, that should be it. Like, you did your time. There's a reason that sentencing is determined to be as long as it is relative to crimes that people commit. But we don't do that. People come out, person says, oh yeah, like I was in jail, and like I was 15 years old, and my family was starving, and I stole from a convenience store, and since then I go and I advocate in underserved communities. I ensure that those people have resources so that they don't steal. I try to connect with people who are in the same place that I was so that they don't make the same mistakes. I have a whole nonprofit that I've set up that provides X, Y, and Z. I speak in all sorts of platforms. I do all these things. I do everything I can. And you go, yeah, but bro, you went to jail. You stole when you were 15. You shouldn't have done that. And people do this. I don't know that I could hire you, man. You're a felon. It's terrible. So you got to be real mindful when you're engaging with people of using the data you have. And using more recent data in terms of how you make your conceptualizations of who a person is. If you believe that people should give you the benefit of the doubt, that people should honor your development as a person, that you are in a better place as a person than you were 10 years ago, or 20 years ago. If you believe that people should see that, then you damn well better see that in them. And Shimura saying, you know, yeah, but she's a thief. Be careful where you place your faith. That is such a misfire. That makes me just die inside to hear him say that. Because, again, this is a guy that makes the calls. This guy is in power. That's the attitude he has. How's he going to treat the bandits? How's he going to treat people that maybe did some unsavory things while they were trying to survive the Mongol attack? It's terrible, man. It's terrible. And then we get to talk about Jin. Oh, Mr. Jin, who loves to just be the... I just love to just advocate for other people and talk on their behalf. Share their intentions and their loyalties, because I totally know them as well as they do. Oh yeah, Yuna's all in. Did you not listen to her at the gate before you left? Yeah, we've got her loyalty. And before you tell me that he's doing that to placate his uncle, that's bad. If he's saying that to placate his uncle, that's bad. That further contributes to my annoyance with the fact that he doesn't push back on him. What he should have said there is, Uncle, I don't know that we have Yuna because you're squeezing the rag a little too dry here. I think you're asking one extra favor too many. And I don't know that we have her full loyalty because she may actually get pretty pissed at us. He's afraid to do that. I mean, I think he's seems to be a person who, for whatever reason, has been conditioned to survive or gain temporary loyalty by promising things. Which makes actually a lot of sense, because if you're like a samurai, or let's say you're even going through like, you know, martial arts, and it's like, okay, well, if you do X, Y, and Z, you get this belt. Like, there's sort of a promise of a thing. There's always like a carrot at the end of the stick. And so if he's like, all right, well, you know, I can get temporary loyalty by telling you if you do this, you'll get that, and people are desperate enough to listen to it, then sure, that works. And it's been reinforced over time, which is why he keeps doing it. If that kept falling flat on his face, he wouldn't keep doing it. But what it does is it keeps the peace. It keeps everybody believing that everybody is tied more than they actually are. And I actually believe that's probably a huge issue with just Tsushima at large, is people are held together more symbolically than they actually are. And it's just all carrots, and everybody's waiting for the carrots to cash in. And it's all being facilitated at the top. And so that finds its way down. It's brutal. Why does it seem like he doesn't really ever give his word weight when only other people? It's like he thinks his own word doesn't have value 90% of the time. Well, because I think in some ways he's been taught that his word doesn't matter. His word matters, I guess, when he's standing around people he believes to be subordinate. But if he's around people who he believes to be more powerful or carry more prestige, his elders, really, I mean, we're talking about Ishikawa, Masako, Shimura, all people that are older than he is, he does not speak freely. In part because of this whole idea that, like, I guess if somebody's older than you, they matter more, and you can't push back on them because bull wisdom or whatever. There's a lack of accountability to elders. You know, this whole respect your elders thing really should sit on the idea that the elders are going to return the favor. Respect your elders so long as they respect you, so long as they're willing to listen, so long as they're open to the idea that they don't know everything still. But there isn't really that. Like, it's incredibly hierarchical by age on top of everything else, so that's why I think he discounts his voice. And, you know, again, I realize I'm injecting a heavily westernized view on everything I'm talking about here. Yes, Jinx, Skog. Like, it's a very Western view on this. But I would make the argument that if you look at the data here of what we have experienced in this episode, respect your elders isn't working. It's creating problems. It's diminishing Jin's voice. It's diminishing Jin's willingness to advocate on behalf of people who have done very real and important, meaningful things. It is contributing to a hierarchy that's not serving the island at large and creating the kind of disenfranchisement that led to Ryuzo betraying me and potentially getting Shimura killed if the alarm had gone off. So respect your elders isn't even working here. If this was one of those things where it was like, oh, respect your elders, and the elders are making amazing, bomb-ass, mature decisions that the youth just can't quite fully conceptualize yet, and this is a shining pinnacle example of utopia because the respect of the elders and unconditional regard for what it is they have to say is just killing it, then sure, yeah, I'm all on board with that. Respect your elders. But it's not working here. That's why I feel inclined to hold it accountable. Just because something, see, this is sometimes hard for people to say, and I might get some blowback for this too, but this is sometimes why I think we over idealize and overly placate culture. Like, it's hard to hold culture accountable because people sometimes get incensed by the idea that you're holding culture accountable. It's like, whoa, wait a second, that's culture. And like, is culture working for you? Like, the ability to uphold the customs and stuff of culture is often also something that happens in a position of privilege. It's like, as respect your elders works for these people, it doesn't necessarily work for everybody on the island. Oh, we got to make sure that we do X. It's part of the culture. Culture can sometimes become enabling of bad behaviors that are just generally unhealthy for the constituents that are embedded within it. And people get really skittish about doing that. Like, whoa. Is DrMick racist because he's pushing against the respect your elders culture in Japan? Like, I guarantee you there's at least one person watching this who probably had that thought. Is it working? I would argue it's not. James, thanks for the 7 months. All of this human nastiness in the most beautiful setting in a video game of all time. And we'll keep these heavy-handed discussions going in part 16. Thank you for making it to the end. This is wild. And I hope that you've enjoyed the conversation tonight. We got a lot of stuff in there. And I can only imagine where this is going to go going forward. This is really something. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Thanks for engaging with it by leaving a thumbs up and a comment down below. Would love to hear your thoughts about my thoughts. This has been a fabulous playthrough, and I'm really looking forward to where it will go. If you're binging, I will see you right on top of this horse in the next episode. If you are waiting for the next one to come out, I will get it out to you as soon as we can. I appreciate you. You matter, and I'll see you on the next one.